Hey, welcome back. It's Polite Savage. I have a few articles and graphs to go over that shows a price prediction of around 300,000 by the end of 2021. I'm going to show you how I got to that point, so let's get started. The article I'm looking at is about Bitcoin price predictions for 2025, and they were seeing a 1 million 2025 price target for Bitcoin. And this is significant because some people are saying that by the end of 2021, they're thinking it'll be 1 million or anywhere from 500,000 per Bitcoin to 1 million. While that's possible, I don't think it's likely. Because when I was looking at this article, it aligned with a lot of other articles. And this one was predicting 50,000 by the end of 2020, but we know it had a 2-month lag, so that was correct in a way, if you give or take that 2-month mark. But I think it's going to be a slower increase than we are anticipating. That's why I have a long position in Bitcoin, and I think a long position is smart. And when you put money in Bitcoin, I think you should forget about that money and ride the short gains if you want. Some people are doing that and, going in and out, but I'm sitting on the money in Bitcoin and not really pulling out, but I am contributing slowly. So like on a weekly basis, a little more. So that way I'm just not putting that huge lump sum in. The reason why I'm doing that is because I'm not like a huge investor. I don't have millions of dollars to throw down on Bitcoin, but I think that's the majority of people. The majority of people getting into Bitcoin that are not huge conglomerates are putting in a little at a time or large chunks of money gradually. As I get further into the article, you can see that investors are jumping on the bandwagon. They were saying that 6 months ago. And I think now it's, actually ringing true. And the evidence of that is Tesla. So Tesla putting in the $1.5 billion, that was a huge substantiation of Bitcoin. And the retail investors, the long mainstay of Bitcoin buying, have been more active than ever this year. So that's what I was talking about earlier. So the people, just the individuals like me who are putting money into Bitcoin gradually, and these are people who aren't like Bitcoin OGs where they got in back way, years and years ago when the price was like $100. These are people that are hearing about it in the news, throwing their money into it. I'm actually hearing some people are taking out huge loans, like $40,000 loans, and putting it on Bitcoin, which I don't know what that's going to do to inflate the price, but I think these people have the understanding that Bitcoin isn't a short, money maker. They're putting it in and it's the long game. They're just going to let it sit. But moving further into the article, this was a big statistic from Fidelity Investments where it was 36% of large investors in the United States and Europe already own some sort of crypto asset. So that doesn't mean Bitcoin particularly, but Fidelity Investments is like a really long, upstanding financial company, and my brokerage is in Fidelity, and the app is awesome, really easy to use. And this particular institution saying this it matters. So I think this percentile, I'd like to find out what it is now, and I'm sure it's in the 40s or the 50% at this point. And we can see the Tesla, of course, and then also with the JP Morgan anticipated an investment of 150 billion. Going down in the article again, we can see Bitcoin price predictions for this year and next. They were looking at around 20K by the end of the year, and that was the crypto research report. I like the crypto research report because it's very, I would say, conservative, and I like conservative predictions because the conservative ones give people less of that FOMO or fear of missing out where they're just panicking to shift investments to Bitcoin. Going further down in the article, you can see that Plan B's model forecasts the Bitcoin price at 100,000 by the end of 2021. And then in April, they updated the price target to 288,000. Now, I looked at a bunch of other articles as well as graphs for current predictions. And like in my last video, I went over an article that was saying that I went over a graph that was saying it would go up to as much as 900,000. But the low price target, which I always look at, the low price target was 388,000. And I'll bring that graph up now. This is the graph that they particularly made, and they just pulled this data off of Yahoo Business, and this is just a candlestick graph of all the prior prices since around the 2014 mark. And what it showed was these price valleys. So there was 1, 2, and 3, where these are the historical data, and then this is the prediction. So because every 4 years it shows that this particular prediction was, this particular peak happened, that's what they were getting at. So we can do year 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then the rally started, and then we can do year 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we can see they're anticipating the next rally starting. So this prediction was the 100,000, and then the high level was the 900,000. So I of course go after this one, the lower of the two, the 380,000, and that aligns to the article that we were looking at. So if I hop back to our article, it's showing that it was around the $288,000 mark, and this was back in the time frame of July of 2020. So these predictions are not that far off, and when I'm looking at all these different resources, that's how you get an idea of what Bitcoin is going to be looking like in the future. So if you're a Bitcoin veteran, you know that, and you've been probably doing this for a while. I've been following Bitcoin for a few years now, but I've never actually put a lot of weight into and a lot of money into Bitcoin because I just didn't see the corporate entities jumping on it. So that was my reservation. But probably 6 months ago, that's when I started to kind of throw down into Bitcoin. But if you're in Bitcoin, I think you should hold it. I'm not recommending you buy anything, of course, any stocks or Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies in general. This is just really for informational and entertainment. I'm primarily into going over these resources and giving everyone kind of an idea of what the media is saying, because a lot of people don't have time to read all of these articles, and I am a kind of auditory learner, so if I hear someone talking about it, I definitely absorb the information better. I have one more article to go over, and it is, let me get it for you. This is the current day predictions. So let me zoom in. So the current day prediction, so this is tomorrow, February 17th, and we're anticipating a max of 49. So if I go to the minimum, I'm gonna scroll down to March, and we're looking at 62, so that's a $12,000 gain. I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, so 20,000 a month. So if I think of like a 20,000 per month gain for the next 10 months, or let's do 9 months. So we'll do 20,000 times 9. So we're looking at 180,000, and then we will add our current price of 49, and we have the $229,000 mark. So the current price algorithm, so this is, if you look at this, it's kind of an algorithm. So it's 3,000 to 4,000 each day in kind of the price increase, and that's saying that it's actually going to continue to go up, which I think it will, and that aligns with the prediction from back in July of 2020 around this $288,000 mark. So putting those all together, if you look at this, check it out. It's from current day predictions to back then. I think they're aligned pretty well. this is a very conservative estimate, but I myself think from the information I have now, by the end of 2021, we're looking at around 300,000. Let me go to my last chart and then I'll wrap it up. If I go to my last chart, the price prediction for the end of 2021 here is 380,000. So they're all in that same kind of an area. And if we take multiple resources, blend them together, that's how we're going to get the most accurate prediction. It's not just, don't put all of your cookies in the same jar where you're looking at the same price target from the same person. Even if, like, you'll get the bias where it's the bias that you're going to go for the highest price, where that's your hope, and that hopeful bias is what'll get you if you start really putting all of your chips in the same pot. But I really appreciate you watching my video. Subscribe if you want. I love when you leave comments. If you please could check multiple resources, that's where you're going to get the best price prediction. But I'll see you in the next video, where I'll probably be doing a very similar thing with different articles on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general. So I hope you have a great week or a great weekend whenever you're watching this. Adios and farewell.